Thank you for tuning in to Exeter TV. Exeter TV is the town's public and government access channels, available on Comcast Channels 6 and 22. Channel 6 is your channel. If you have an idea for a program, want to host your own talk show, or submit a film, we're here to get your content on television. On Channel 22, we bring you live and replay coverage of government meetings and other town updates. A third channel, Blue Hawk Media, is operated by SAU 16 and can be found on Channel 8, with all your school sports, events, and meetings. You can watch Exeter TV online at exeternh.tv, Apple TV, and on Roku. Find us on social media for extra content. Subscribe to our YouTube channel and hit the bell to get notified about live streams and new content. Tune in to our platforms every other Friday to watch the Exeter Biweekly Report, with recaps of recent events, updates from town departments, and messages from nonprofits in your area. If you head to our website, exeternh.tv, we invite you to sign up to our newsletter to receive monthly updates about new content, upcoming meetings, and more. We'd like to thank you for taking the time to watch Exeter TV and hope that you tune in to our other content as well.
Excuse me, get started. Good evening. This is the June meeting of the Zoning Board of Adjustment. I'm not used to doing this. I'm out of practice a little bit, but I will introduce the board. I am Laura Davies, acting chair tonight, and to my right is Esther Olson-Murphy and alternate John Del Santo. Thank you, John. I had the John part, but not the rest. And to my left is Laura Montagno, Martha Pennell, and Mark Lamos. I do know your names, I promise. So we have 2 regular members and 4 alternates tonight. So if you would like to just participate in discussion and observe tonight, and then we can get you voting next time, or if you'd like to vote.
No, I'll observe.
Okay, so
My first meeting.
John will participate, and feel free to ask questions and participate in the discussion, but you 3 down here will be the voting members. Perfect. Okay, great. So, thank you for coming tonight. We have the application of Alexander and Margaret Forestier for a variance from Article 4, Section 4.3, Schedule 2, for relief from the front and rear yard setback and building coverage requirements, and from Article 5, Section 5.3.2, to permit a visual obstruction of 30 inches or greater in height within a 30-foot distance from the intersection of Aspen Way and Woodlawn Circle for the proposed construction of an addition to the existing residence located at 4 Aspen Way. The subject property is located in the R3 Residential District, Single-Family Residential Zoning District, and is identified as tax map parcel number 54-59. This is ZBA case number 25-42.
Actually, just for the record, it's 25-4. We haven't had 42 cases this year.
Okay.
My typo, sorry.
ZBA case 25-4. Thank you, Barb. Okay, so would the applicant like to
Actually,
present?
before we start, can I ask a question?
Of course.
Do we want to deal with this as one big application, or, because they're asking for 2 pretty distinct things between setbacks, coverage, and then the intersection height?
I think we can listen to the applicant's presentation, and then we can vote on the things in
Okay.
2 separate
Yep.
votes, unless there's a reason that somebody else sees not to do that.
Even before we get to that, I was just questioning the abutters. I don't see the Pauline, Doris, or the Flanders listed as abutters. They're across the street on Woodland Circle, whereas Tammy Ham and the Bridgewoods are. I was just wondering, am I missing something, or?
That is a fair question. Let's take a look. Barb, do you have any feedback on that?
So the butters that are across the street on Woodlawn Circle,
Across Woodlawn Circle?
because of the location, you have a
What's the tax
butters
map, lot number?
across the street. So you've got the butters like in your little cul-de-sac, but you don't have the ones across the street for Woodlawn Circle.
So that would be
listed. I'm getting
lots
notified.
6596 and 6599, I believe, are the ones she's questioning.
Do you know the tax map lot number?
I think that's what I just said.
Oh.
6596 and 6599.
Okay, that's not
If
lining up with.
That's what it has on this plan, so.
Yep. Pauline Doris is direct, if you go out Aspen Raid, it's the house.
these two.
Yeah.
So this is your house.
Yep.
These two.
I'm not sure why.
They have check marks on them there.
I know, but I had a list from Henry, and I don't think I.
If so, they should have been notified.
Yeah, they should have been.
I think he's got it.
Now we know who the observant one is in the group.
Checked off.
Yeah, I'm not sure why those aren't on there. They should have been, I believe.
Well,
So were they notified? Sorry.
I can't verify. I mean, we printed. They were not. They weren't on the mailing
They
labels.
weren't on the list. So
Yeah, they might not have been on this list. I'm not sure if they were on the mailing labels,
Did you
though.
submit a copy of the labels?
No, I didn't. I just submitted the
Don't
list.
I
you
don't do the abutter
Yeah.
notification, so
do you send out the abutters lists, certified mail?
Yeah,
So therefore, you should have had some receipts? Maybe?
yeah, unfortunately.
She's been doing this a minute.
Are those the receipts there on the very bottom,
Doing
Barb?
this a minute.
So with those,
Yeah, I think I saw them on the bottom of the folder. Like the actual physical green things.
yeah, I don't know if they still do that.
I mean, I don't disagree that those two properties should be on the list. Why they weren't on the list that was part of the package, I'm not sure.
We just didn't make sure they were notified.
Yeah, no, I absolutely, completely agree. Whether they were on the mailing labels is a different story, because
The one on All Place and 7 Woodlawn Circle.
I'm sorry, what did you say?
No labels were provided for those.
So they were not notified.
Well,
yeah, and I
then
don't know why they weren't.
abutters should be notified.
Yeah, I
Right.
don't know that we can move forward without the proper
No, I understand.
notification.
When would, I guess at this point then, assume, due to the fact that those two abutters were not notified, we're talking about the ones directly across the street, correct?
Yes.
Across
On
Woodlawn Circle.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, assuming they were not notified, then I guess we'd have to ask for continuance, so that we could,
I hate to
Make
do
sure
that,
that-
but
No,
I
I-
don't think we have any option.
no, just, I think, just for protection from appeal and all that. I think that would certainly be the preference.
So are you asking for a quick continuance?
I guess I, at this point, would request continuance to the next,
We know Pauline well, and we've, like,
Yeah, she's unfortunately out of town.
She's out of town, she's
With
gonna
the-
train at the post office up in Berlin.
She doesn't have to participate,
Yeah, it's just-
and I'm
I
not
understand that,
doubting,
like, she's
but
well aware, and like, we've shown her the plans, and we've shared that with her.
Yeah.
The Flanders, their house is actually on Hall Place, and their pool backs up to our residence,
Yeah.
but understood that there also,
So
because their property line is.
Yeah.
if they haven't been notified, and then we go through the whole
Yeah,
process,
and it
and
could
then
be-
they appeal it, and they say, we were never notified, then
we're back here.
you could be back here, or they could be tearing stuff out, it could be a whole mess.
Right, what a.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, of course.
I mean, could we get an idea from beyond them being notified? Could we get an idea of like if our ask would have your approval so we can move forward with construction designs with our architect and builder?
I don't think we can open the matter
Yeah.
without proper notification. I don't think this is a controversial matter.
No,
But
I've
I-
gone through the process, so I'm just asking the question. So.
We can't,
Yeah, no, I don't disagree because of the potential for appeal and all that. What is the earliest next date we could get on for, just to try to move this along if we can? I mean, we can have, we can make sure those two additional butters are, well, we can get.
you're going to have to
labels.
renotice all of them so they know that this is, the next date is the,
It's July 15th is the next meeting.
oh, thank you.
If it's,
Getting there.
okay. I mean, we can provide that. I mean, typically, if it's a continuance, they wouldn't need to be, the ones that were noticed wouldn't need to be re-notified, but I mean, we can do that.
I can send certified
Okay.
letters to the two abutters
Yeah.
that didn't get noticed.
Right.
And I can just send regular mail and agenda to the folks that have already been
Just to
noticed.
send it again, I guess, yeah.
Just let them know.
Just the continued, yeah.
Here.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
We have in writing from one neighbor that there are direct abutters that they're happy with.
Yeah, I mean, we don't
No, I know, I'm just, I
Doubt
know, I'm not.
that.
I'm not gonna push that.
We know it's frustrating, but
It's not,
Yeah, no, absolutely, and I apologize if there was something missed. I thought we had the whole list that we needed, but I
was there a
trusted.
change in a butters law? Did we hear something about that? Like who's technically a butters?
Yeah, but I don't think it would, I was rereading it in the minutes
Yeah.
for our last meeting, it was being discussed, and I don't think it would,
They're still
Change it.
across the street, still in a butters.
across the street is still in the butter, and
yeah,
these
technically.
are directly across the
Yeah.
street, they're not
Right.
like
Who creates
50
that
feet.
list?
And we create
We
it,
create
us and the
it.
engineer, yep, we,
Henry.
yeah, well, but, it's, at the same time, it got missed by two different people, so, and I accept responsibility for us missing what we got too, you know? I see them on the plan, so.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I see that and I trust Barb that they weren't notified, you know, so. I know she
I
has
hate
nothing
to
to
do this to
gain.
you. I know how frustrating it must be, but I don't know that we have any, you know.
Thank you for flagging, Mark.
No, it's better to have that checked off. What's the next possible date that we could get in here?
The next meeting's July 15th.
July 15th. Okay. So
Like
that's
the
like
extra.
I mean, I hate to ask this, but there's no potential for like a meeting before that.
I don't think so. An additional meeting between now and the 15th?
That would be up to you folks. We would need additional time to get the abutters out to the two abutters that need to be notified. And I would just have to check to make sure the room's available. Typically it is, but if you want to.
And we would still need to have the,
Room's available before we leave.
and we would still need to have the meeting on the 15th for if other applications come
It
in.
wouldn't have to be.
It wouldn't have to be.
There's nothing for that meeting already in.
And I was going to say the schedule's pretty tight in the evenings between all the boards that meet and whatnot, so we have to find a date that works.
Even have the room.
I can go look at the calendar now if you want me to check out the next 2 weeks.
Well, how long do we need to get the notification out? Do they need a certain amount of time before the meeting? To
By law, it's
Yeah,
5
5
days.
days.
I
5
usually
days.
do 10 days.
Yeah.
Okay.
Right.
And we would have to get it
But
back in the
we'd
paper
have it-
again.
Yeah. So we can have that tomorrow. We could have to Barb. Well,
Right.
That's going to be the more stringent
Yeah.
setback,
Which one?
the newspaper.
The newspaper, okay. So,
Yeah. And we have to remember 4th of July's in there too.
yeah,
And
so.
June 19th, don't
Yep.
forget.
Sorry.
When
So
does Bob
let's,
come back?
yeah, we need Bob. So 2 weeks is July 1st, which is obviously not, we've got the holiday that week, so I don't think that's a great idea.
Well, why not?
It's before the holiday. I mean, if it was the Tuesday after, it might be more.
Well, I would say just the reverse.
Well, so people do either side, because if you have the 4th off, then a lot of times.
Look, I guess if we're available and you are available, that's the big thing.
Yeah, I don't know about anybody's personal schedule with vacation or whatnot coming up with it being July or, so the 15th of July doesn't work.
No, I mean, I think it we'll make whatever work, just trying to move it along since,
It's a long process to get it going.
Yeah, sure, yeah. And just thinking
We're meant
of,
to be out of town, but we'll obviously prioritize this. But if there was any opportunity sooner, obviously, we appreciate it. But
I don't have a conflict with July 1st.
I don't either.
Does anybody else feel like that's not going to work?
I can be here.
I can be here.
Do you want to check to see about July 1st, Barb?
yeah, thank you, I appreciate
Now,
that.
will I remember July
Yeah.
1st? That's the next step.
What was the date?
July 1st?
July 1st? Okay.
Yes, thank you. All right, we'll see what we can do.
No, I appreciate it. When these things happen, it's a pain for everybody, so I apologize for anything from our side.
You blame Henry, he's
Yeah.
not here.
We could- I don't know, it's yeah.
Not.
I don't want to blame Henry either because, I mean,
we were going to be on vacation on the 15th.
Oh,
15th, yeah.
yeah.
We'll be here on the 1st. And then we're thrilled to host everyone for our 4th of July hot dog or something.
But maybe
We're
Henry
just
can
on the
be here
bench.
for that one. He
but
was-
sometimes when you have council, you don't have to attend.
Yeah, if you sign off, you might not have to be here.
She was,
Yeah.
well, I was trying to let you, didn't want you to
Yeah.
cancel plans if you didn't
Oh,
have
thank
to
you,
be
thank
here.
you.
Like-
We're invested.
Seems like whenever you're not there, something
Comes up.
comes up that you wish you were there, so.
No, I agree.
Yeah, we're looking good in terms of the room availability.
Oh, yeah.
So I guess
Well, thank you, Barb.
All right.
if you
Yeah.
are formally asking for a continuance to that date, then I guess we would vote on whether we are in favor of that.
Do we need a motion?
Yeah.
Yes, we would need a motion. Do you want to do it, Mark?
No.
I
Thank you.
know the
move to
special-
continue ZBA case 25-4 to a July 1st zoning board meeting.
I second.
Okay.
Correct?
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye?
Aye.
Aye. Okay, so it will be a 7 PM, July 1st meeting to continue this case, case 25-4. Okay?
Excellent. Well, thank you very much. I appreciate that. Yep.
Yeah, we're so sorry.
It was a very exciting first meeting, was it?
Thank you.
I've never had that
Yeah,
before,
thanks.
so I guess it was
really?
kind of a special meeting.
What? You
You've
never
never
had
had
what, the?
Then continue because somebody wasn't.
Yeah, I've actually seen it before, but
Make sure that they get all the stuff in, so we make sure we have the 5 days.
it was
I typically
we'll have
think
it.
check the abutters.
caught some other way. This is surprising.
The meeting.
No.
Because,
Having said
that's
that,
the only
I like to-
She brings up a butters list.
Yeah, we have to
Because they
let all the butters know that
So-
there's a hearing and they missed two
Yeah.
of them.
Yeah.
Here.
So I own property in Northampton as well as here, and they're condominiums. And I always get notification of these in Northampton. I never get any notification in Exeter. So how does North,
I don't know.
We actually are still in session, so we're going to continue on with our minutes and so forth.
Thank you.
No problem. Not no problem.
Sorry.
You're welcome.
Good catch.
Okay, so,
Good catch, Martha. Glad you did.
yeah, I'm impressed, Martha. You put us all to shame. So, okay, the only other item of business that we have is approval of minutes for the May 20th meeting. So, these are a little different than normal in that they are not line numbered or page numbered, so I don't know if it's going to be harder to point out where things are. So does anybody have any things that they want to point out or discuss as far as errors that they might have uncovered?
I did not make it through the whole thing, I will admit it. It's a slacker.
Okay.
Is there a reason why it's a different format?
Did
Like we
someone
don't-
else do this,
No, I
Barb?
think Joanna was probably just overwhelmed because there was a lot in that meeting.
It was, yeah.
So there's no page numbers or line numbers? And so
I'll put them on the first.
okay. So just so that we can discuss where,
I can add those. I don't have to go back to Joanna to do those.
okay. So should we talk about it on the first then?
Yeah.
So that will be
Yeah,
easier?
it'll be easier.
Minutes.
Okay. All right, we'll do that then. Okay.
It gives Esther more time to read the rest of them.
And me, because I actually read all but the last page or so. So, anybody else have any motions to make? Adjourn.
Oh, Mark.
We can adjourn.
Yeah.
Oh.
I made the last one.
I make a motion to adjourn.
I'll second.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay, boom.
Well.
We're done. Thank you,
Thank
everybody.
you for tuning in to Exeter TV. Exeter TV is the town's public and government access channels, available on Comcast channels 6 and 22. Channel 6 is your channel. If you have an idea for a program, want to host your own talk show, or submit a film, we're here to get your content on television. On Channel 22, we bring you live and replay coverage of government meetings and other town updates. A third channel, Blue Hawk Media, is operated by SAU 16 and can be found on Channel 8, with all your school sports, events, and meetings. You can watch Exeter TV online at exeternh.tv, Apple TV, and on Roku. Find us on social media for extra content. Subscribe to our YouTube channel and hit the bell to get notified about live streams and new content. Tune in to our platforms every other Friday to watch the Exeter Biweekly Report, with recaps of recent events, updates from town departments, and messages from nonprofits in your area. If you head to our website, exeternh.tv, we invite you to sign up to our newsletter to receive monthly updates about new content, upcoming meetings, and more. We'd like to thank you for taking the time to watch Exeter TV and hope that you tune in to our other content as well.